man. Y'all get in here, man. Y'all get in here, man. I know it ain't gonna be many of y'all. The weather is nice outside today, man. I know motherfuckers got to touch grass. It's Friday, but y'all get in here, man. Y'all go love this one right here. Y'all go love this one right here. Straight up. Y'all go love this one right here. Stephen, what up, man? Carrington Morris, what up? What up? What up? What up? What up, man? What up, man? Yeah, this one right here, man. This one take the cake, man. Igor, what up, dog? What up? What up? I ain't gonna hold y'all, man. I had to do this one. Somebody, one of my sons wanted me to roast somebody at 5:15, and he told me the name. I didn't write it down or put it in my notes or nothing. I'm trying to have this guy call me back, man, so we can set up a platinum roast for 5:15, man. You know what I'm saying? Tech Boy, what up? Kwame Kaji, what up, man? Yeah, this shit is real wild, man. This shit is real wild, man. Yeah, this shit is real. This shit is crazy. Cam, what up, man? Mr. O with the info, what up? Let a few more y'all get in here before we start to, like we always do about this time. Lion, what up, man? What up? What up? What up? What up? You know it, and you know it, Stephen, and you know it, and you know it. She is the embodiment of this series. Yeah, you ain't never lied about that. Shit. All right, man. Let's launch into this crazy shit right here, man. All right. This is wild, man. This shit is. When I read this, I came across this on Instagram, right? And I'm like, the first thing I started doing is trying to find this woman's name so I could Google her, so I could see if this is like really in the news, if this is real, because it might have been one of them fake AI stories. I'm like, man, that's too good to be true. Ain't no way in hell. Squatter posed as financial advisor in $2.3 million mansion, but lived off food stamps and sent daughter to work instead of school. Wow. Wow. A Maryland squatter posed online as a financial advisor, but was living off food stamps and sending her 16-year-old daughter out to work instead of school while hiding out in a $2.3 million mansion, according to a report. Tamika Good, 40, recently returned to the ritzy 7,500 square foot home in the suburbs in Washington, D.C., but presented herself as a bankruptcy expert. Shit, she is a bankruptcy expert because her ass bankrupt. Shit. She is a bankruptcy expert. Shit. You an expert of some shit you going through. Shit. Presented herself as a bankruptcy expert. What the hell? Selling $800 courses online and sharing social media posts of her Porsche. Oh, wow. In reality, however, she was a squatter, living off a total monthly income of $946, which included, big surprise there, $538 in child support and $408 in food stamps, according to bankruptcy records obtained by the Daily Mail. Boy, these hoes kill me. This shit is wild, bruh. She's a shyster. She built this presence online, showing off the house, teaching people how to do bankruptcy stuff, and charging $800 to do your bankruptcy paperwork. She herself doesn't know what she's doing, and of course, I tried to hold her in contempt. 19-year-old neighbor Ian Chin told the Mail. Chin, a pre-law student at William & Mary College in Williamsburg, Virginia, became suspicious after Good moved into the next-door mansion in Bethesda, Maryland, when the previous owners faced foreclosure and the bank took possession of the home in the summer of 2025. He uncovered paperwork alleging that, far from a self-made success, Good was actually a bankrupt layabout who sent a school-aged daughter to work in a nearby Paris Baguette bakery. Her parents did not work, Chen said of Good's daughter. She was going to school. She wasn't going to school. She seemed to be working, and that was the only source of income for that family. That's wild. Look at that. Look at that. Look, these hoes be all cap. Chin, who set up cameras to film Good living high on the hog in the mansion, claimed that multiple neighbors reported the situation to Child Protective Services, but no action was taken. What followed was months of intimidation from Good, including a brazen lawsuit against Chin, accusing him of stalking and trespassing, which was quickly thrown out by a judge in the District Court of Maryland. Good's jailbird husband, Corey Pollard, of course not the child father, briefly lived in the mansion, Chin told the Daily Mail. He was rearrested in early December for allegedly stealing vehicles from a Pennsylvania dealership, but was later released before being arrested again on January 23rd, according to court documents. Pollard is in the Lancaster County Jail on a $500,000 bond ahead of his next court date on Friday, records show. Good was finally convicted of breaking and entering and trespassing in late January and was sentenced to 90 days at a Montgomery County Detention Center. And there's the mansion right there. Right? But the shameless grifter was out just 2 weeks and moved straight back into the mansion on February 2nd. Chin called the police on February 10th when he saw Good outside the house moving items into a U-Haul truck, and she was rearrested. Good appeared at a bond hearing in Montgomery County via Zoom on February 13th. Her tan prison suit, a far cry from the designer outfits that she flaunted online. She was freed on a $5,000 bond ahead of her next scheduled court date hearing on March 30th. The Bethesda home had its doors and windows boarded up and locks changed to keep Good and other would-be frosters out, Chin hopes. She truly believed that she was entitled to this property. They really tried to hide it and just fly under the radar and think they weren't going to get caught, he said. Let me tell y'all what happened. And this is my all cap. You see how I'm capping right here? Like I'm in a warm climate. Ain't no leaves on the fucking trees here. See how I'm in this beautiful whenever we do this capping ass stories like this, I'm gonna use this background with the in-ground pool, the deck built around it. I'm not living like this. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna tell y'all how this happened. And this for the rest of you hood rats out there, the rest of you hood rat scammers, right? This for the rest of you hood rat scammers. When y'all move in to these high dollar areas, the people that live around there can tell that you don't belong. They can tell that you don't belong as far as your tax bracket, and they can tell that you don't belong as far as the way that you carry yourself. Now, sure, every once in a while, you will have some AKA that's really not from the hood, that's from the suburbs, but that wants to act like she's from the suburbs and shit, that'll slip through the cracks, right? But mostly, they can tell that y'all capping, right? And that arrogant ass boss bitch, that shit, that shit don't ingratiate you to anybody. So when you move around there and they can tell that you a scammer and you carry yourself once again with this arrogant boss bitch mentality, you probably gonna set off a few alarm bells with people. And what happened to her is probably gonna happen to you. It's really sad that there are so many so-called black women that have such a gaping fucking hole in their self-esteem that they have to, you know, have this sort of this fake material largesse, right? Like a lot of women that when I was campaigning for women and shit, my dating life before, they would like all of that money bag breezy and I screen names like that. I would just block them straight off top. They would inbox me, I would block them. I would straight up block them. Because I know that you start fucking with them, you just in for wall to wall bullshit. Right? I ran into so many women that were, a lot of them are like house poor divorced, right? Even in apartments, they house poor divorced. They live in these high dollar areas in houses that they can barely afford, and they barely afford them off of a combination of child support and public aid. And it's crazy that you got some women who, even though they do, I don't know why the people that run public aid don't tell them, hey, you just gonna have to, we gonna give you public aid for 6 months, but you got to move to somewhere less expensive. Because when they fill out them forms and what they housing expenses are versus what they make versus them having such amount of kids, they are still getting public aid. So you got a lot of suburban women that are that you won't even think that on the surface these motherfuckers get public aid. You would see them, they'd be in one of them little weird BMW trucks, right? With the one that looked like a car turned into a truck, the one that looked like a toy. They'd be driving one of them, right? They would be living in the suburbs in like a 4 or 5 bedroom house with an attached garage, but they will be getting public aid. And they get public aid based off of the fact that what they make don't quite cover their living expenses on top of having kids. So let's just say they in one of these 4 bedroom houses and they got 3 kids in there, or they got 4 kids in there. 2 of them might share a room. They probably gonna give them like fucking three to $5,000 in public aid. They are on top of what they make at work. You know what I'm saying? And then they might get some child support. They might get a meager ass amount of child support. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So they will be living in the suburbs and getting public aid, driving a nice car in a nice house, and you would never know that they getting public aid. It's so many, and mind you, remember, we in a day and age now where most black people live in the suburbs. So it's more women living like this than you would suspect. And it's crazy. They have these screen names like Money Bag Breezy, Big Money Mona, Boss Lady Bree. and all of that shit. But then, like, go on Snapchat. You know, the younger niggas show me Snapchat. They be like, look how these hoes be begging. Look how they be begging. And then you will see where they have on their stories or they have for their profile picture, it'll be like a fucking picture of them dancing, and the caption to be like, don't inbox me unless you prepared to send me money, or I don't like talking to broke niggas. And it's like, damn, you begging in the door. I thought your name was Big Money Bree. I thought your name was Money Bag Mona. I thought your name was Money Bag Breezy or some shit. Like, why you begging so hard? Why you capping so hard? Like 21 Savage say, why these motherfuckers capping so hard? Why you capping so hard? It's crazy the amount of cap that you run into with this crowd of people. And they why do you think about this? Do y'all realize, like, when I showed y'all that no, this ain't fake it till you make it, no news. That ain't what this is, bro. I see what you're saying. No news writes the true definition of fake it till you make it. No, this ain't fake it till you make it, brother. That ain't what this is. This is fake it till your ass go broke. This is fake it till you go broke. This is fake it till you go broke, trying to pretend that you live in the way that you really not. That's what this is. This ain't because there's no end game. There's no goal. The goal is to pretend like you've already arrived at the goal. So you can't progress if you're so busy pretending like you've arrived already. You can't travel upward if you already pretending like you reached the top of the ladder. So yeah, so this ain't fake it till you make it. This fake it till you go broke. And that's most of the time what happens. That's most of the time what happens. And like I keep telling y'all about these hoes, man. They be talking all this motherfucking this expensive life shit. You bitches, see, now we in the era. Now we in the era where most black people live in the suburbs. But a lot of these women are in their 30s and their 40s and shit. And they wasn't living in that era. Now we living in the era. But we wasn't in that era 30 years ago. 30 years ago, there's a lot of black people still in the hood, in the inner city. And I know that the overwhelming majority of these hoes come from the hood. So if you come from the hood, please don't try to pretend like every time you go out to eat, it's got to be Ruth Chris or Cooper's Hawk. Because I know that's not what you came from. I know that's not what you came from. And no matter how much money I get, I would never turn their pretentious. No matter how much money I get, I'm still going to want to go to Nikki's Gyros in Calumet City, nigga. I'm still going to want to go to the taco spot up there on Chicago Road. No matter how much money I get. I'm still going to want me a Popeye's chicken sandwich every now and then. So stop. And it's male celebrities. Like, remember when they showed Lamar Jackson when he was hurt? And he was at one of them greasy spoons. Y'all the only ones and he actually rich. Y'all the only ones capping like that. Right about that, Quiet Storm. Quiet Storm writes, they student loans kicked a lot of black women asses. They don't say it on social media as much, but they threw a whole wrench in their hustle game. Biden can't save them this time. Nope. That's what they was begging for. When he first got elected, if he really got elected, that's a subject for a whole nother show. But that's what they was begging for. When they was talking about tangibles, that's what they was begging for. Because they don't give a fuck about the majority of black people. That's what they was begging for. Right? But y'all can't convince me. Y'all didn't grow up like that. Like I said, man, these hoes was troglodytes until Rich Boy Summer. When Rich Boy Summer came around, you had niggas, you know, taking hoes to Papa Do's and all that shit. when the nicest restaurant these hoes been to is Chili's. Now all of a sudden after 2020, 2019 to 2020, now all of a sudden y'all just like these, lifestyles of the rich and famous. Get the fuck out of here. Nobody going for that goofy ass shit. No, damn well. But they want to play like they from the hood. It's like they have the same hood girl affectations and shit, dressed up with a couple of fake designer clothes or maybe real. But then at the same time that you want to play like you from the hood, you want to act like you like this fucking damn near legacy boule black person. Like, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here.
Get the fuck out of here.
The fuck out of here. Don't nobody going for that goofy ass shit. Nobody's going for that. Stephen, thanks for the cash app. Don't let that brother be alone. Nobody's going for that shit, man. Nobody's going for that. Yeah, yup. Exactly. Quiet Storm, yes. Quiet Storm writes, look at all these videos of them arguing at the restaurant table about splitting the bill. And all of them with designer on. All of them with designer on. All of them got Fendi bags, all of that shit sitting on the table, Gucci bags. I don't know if they're real or not. All of them got nice handbags on the table, but arguing about the motherfucking bill though. Like, y'all capping too motherfucking hard out here, man. Shit's ridiculous. It is. Shit's ridiculous, man. Capping hard as fuck. But y'all got a gigantic hole in y'all self-esteem, and y'all think that it can be filled up by all of these fake ass champagne dreams and shit. It can't. And then even if you was to come into real money, you're gonna go broke in a short amount of time trying to live up to them dreams. Shit. Half of y'all, well, more than half of y'all is y'all riding around in cars that y'all really can't afford. And I always say, don't even buy the car you can afford. Buy the car that you can afford to repair. And y'all riding around in cars that y'all can't even. What is the use of having a luxury SUV and you can't even afford to keep the gas tank half full? Half. And you quick to call a nigga broke, but you also quick to ask the next man to let you hold $50 until you get paid. But your screen name, meanwhile, your screen name is Big Money Breezy. It just don't add up. This shit really don't add up, man. It don't add up. King Des writes, they also try to dine and dash. Restaurants be watching Keisha like they used to watch us. Yeah. I mean, I personally, I ain't never been watched, but yeah. Shit, people, for some reason, motherfuckers think I'm rich when I go out. Homeless motherfuckers be running up on me and I give them $5 and they be mad. And I'll be like, damn. Yup. Prime example. No news writes, Anthony Edwards' baby mama anyone blew $1 million in a couple of months. Yep, blew $1 million in a couple of months. Another sad thing about nigga rich women like this is working class men and white collar men can see these hoes from a mile away. from a mile away, and they not trying to fuck with them. They not trying to fuck with them. So because it's so hard for them to get a sucker on the hook, and you know they not gonna go celibate, so then a lot of times they end up with either a capping ass nigga just like them, or they just take in a bum ass nigga as a pet nigga, because that's all they can really get, because other men not going for that shit. So then when they do come into some money, a lot of times they'll go broke trying to spend it on that nigga too. I'm telling you, I don't seen all of this shit. I don't seen some of the most craziest shit when it come to women like this Tamika Good. I don't seen some of the craziest shit in the world. I don't seen a woman like her that was both house poor and car poor, where she's sitting there with a CLK Roadster and a BMW X5 truck when they was popular back then, at the same time in a 5-bedroom house with 4 kids in there on public aid. On public aid, right? And I remember, like, I went to the grocery store with her one time, and she was like, what did she tell me? She was like, ain't you got some errands to run too? And I was like, yeah, but it ain't. She was like, no, just go. And I'm like, all right. So I didn't know what it was. But then once I really seen how she was living, I realized, oh, she didn't want me to see her take out that motherfucking link card. She didn't want her to see me take out that link card. That's why she wanted me to go do something else while she's at the grocery store. See, because what they do, they'll try to hide what situation they really in until they give you some pussy, and then y'all get a few months down the line. Then that's when she hits you with the sob stories and the entitlement and shit. Tell you, man, this is it's tens of millions of women like this. Tens of millions of women like this. Trevor Helms, thanks for the cash app, honey. Don't let her be alone. It's tens of millions of women like this. And then you go on their Instagram, they got pictures of them, you know, with the waiter with the fucking cherry flambe in front of them, another picture of the waiter arm with the champagne, you know, a picture of them eating a lobster, another picture of them on a jet ski. Right? I don't even see pictures on these hoes' profiles where they don't took and Photoshop themselves like they standing on the motherfucking beach in Jamaica. Wild as fuck. And the only way that I knew it was Photoshop is that she was like standing with the sun facing her, but it wasn't a shadow in back of her or like to the diagonal. And I'm like, this capping ass picture, man. Crazy as hell. Rashawn Talley writes, I have a female family member who blew $300,000 in a year after a divorce. Bought a car note, got a car wreck, and brought another car note. Spent money on her boyfriend, was broke that same year. I'm not surprised. Shit. Y'all know that. Wait a minute. For all of y'all from the Chicago area, it's a abandoned Harold's Chicken in Bolingbrook. It's an abandoned Harold's Chicken in Bolingbrook. Now, with all of the black people in Bolingbrook, I know y'all like, damn, how in the fuck did a Harold's Chicken go out of business? Chris Brown, thanks for the cash app. Don't let that brother be alone. Y'all probably wondering, how in the hell did the Harold's go out of business, right? The Harold's went out of business because a woman got it in a divorce settlement. She was being vindictive. The man was willing to give her a house cars out. She's like, no, I want that Harold's. She wanted one of his business, so she wanted that Harold's, right? So he was like, all right. He kept his properties. She wanted the Harold's. That was her way of being vindictive, right? She got that Harold's And that shit went out of business that same year because she was looting the business. They said that woman got their Heralds. That woman got their Heralds and bought two cars at a car and a truck at the same time. And then went to Rome. You know how they love going to Rome. Was always in the casino, always at the boat, gambling. And she lost their Heralds inside of a year, man. That's I don't know why they got to cap so hard, but they do. You know what I'm saying? King Des writes, females love creating a fantasy illusion for their life while completely ignoring their real issues. They showing the fuck do, man. They showing the fuck do. This, you know what? This shit, you know how they be talking about, oh, so-and-so needs to be studied. This shit really do need to be studied. This shit really do need to be studied. Why, and especially why it in particular affects so many so-called black women. This shit really does need to be studied. No cap. It does. Not surprised. I don't ran into that type too. Rashawn Talley writes, I had a woman, she stayed uptown, pretty drunk every night at the bar, had an expensive car note with a 2019 Benz, crashed, they got a Camaro. This woman had no food at home, not even bottled water. And it's a lot of them like that too. It's a lot of them like that might have a degree, but they are marginally employed in conjunction with what they got a degree for. And then they will get one of these office jobs and try to bow this designer shit to get an appearance like, you know, I got a degree, I work downtown, all of this shit. But then you go inside of their house and they don't have nothing. Knew a girl like that lived in Hyde Park, had a real nice apartment, brand new Volkswagen. What was that Phaeton they had came out with, that long ass sedan, beautiful car. And she used to always want to go out. She used to always want to go out to eat. She didn't want to do nothing but go out and eat. And so one day I pulled up on her and I told her, hey, I gotta piss. Because you ain't finna piss in no alley in Hyde Park. They'll lock your ass up. So I came in her apartment and she didn't have no furniture in there. She had plenty of boxes and bags of designer clothes from store Barney's in New York and shit from downtown. Didn't have no fucking furniture in that motherfucker. And I looked in the refrigerator, it was fucking empty inside of there. Empty inside of there. And that was the last time I ever took out. I took out, but then after that I blocked her. Cause I'm like, I'm not finna do this shit. Hell no. Motherfucker, you know, only help a motherfucker that's gonna help theyself, man. Well, all right, man. Hey, I'm gonna see if I come back at 5:15. I'm waiting on this call from this guy that want this platinum roast done. Y'all come back through. I hope you have a good time at your event, Terry Helms. Y'all come back through. This has been a Black Pill PSA. Peace.